By now, you know the importance of matching the 5 rights written on the consent form with the information written on the medication label or package. And while matching the 5 rights is critical to giving medication safely, there are other things you will also need to do as you give medication to a child. That's why it's helpful to think of giving medication in 3 parts: getting it ready to give it, giving it, and finally, writing down that you gave it. Let's look at each of these parts one at a time. The first thing you'll want to do is look at the child's log to make sure the medication hasn't already been given by another staff person or parent. Before removing the medication from the storage area, make sure the child is ready to take it. You're probably used to getting your activity set up before getting the children. However, when giving medication, you want to get the child first, because you must always keep the medication stored safely and minimize the amount of time it's out of the storage area. And sometimes, it might take a child a minute or 2 to be ready to take their medication, especially if they're very engaged in a fun activity. Also, some medication needs to be refrigerated and should not be kept out. When the child is ready, begin by washing the child's hands and then your own hands. Then bring the child to the area where you'll give the medication. When you are ready to get the medication, be sure to bring the child's consent form with you to the storage area so you can match the 5 rights to the information on the medication label. This is the first time you'll match the 5 rights. Match the child's name on the medication label with the name on the consent form. Then match the medication name and strength written on the label with the medication name and strength on the consent form. Then match the dose, route, and time. Now that you have matched the 5 rights, you can safely remove the medication from the storage area. Before giving the medication, check the instructions and package to see if there are any special directions for giving the medication, such as giving with food or avoiding dairy products. And check the expiration date on the medication and the consent form to make sure they are not expired. If either is expired, you cannot give the medication. Now you're ready to prepare the medication. This can include measuring a liquid dose, getting 2 tablets from a container, or warming eardrops. Always follow all package instructions for preparing medication. You will match the 5 rights a second time as you are about to give the medication. Childcare programs are busy places. Maybe the child was upset or someone was at the door. You want to recheck the 5 rights again after the medication has been prepared and before it enters the child's body, because this is your last chance to catch any errors. Taking this one moment to check the 5 rights again can help you be sure you don't make any mistakes. Because once you give the medication, you can't take it back. Give the medication and make sure the child takes it as instructed.
Good job. Okay, we have to do 2 more.
Immediately after giving the medication, you must write it down in the child's log. As you write down the dose you gave, you will match the 5 rights for the 3rd and final time. This is important for a couple of reasons. First, it helps you be certain you gave the medication exactly as instructed. Second, it will alert you if you made any mistakes so you can take appropriate action. And finally, checking at this point helps you make sure you write down all of the information so you have an accurate record of what you gave. Once you have written down that you gave the medication, immediately put it away. You should do this before you return the child to the group to make sure the medication is stored appropriately and safely. Then wash the child's hands and your own hands thoroughly before helping the child rejoin the group. By matching the 5 rights at least 3 times when you give medication, you can be sure you're giving the right child the right medication in the right dose by the right route at the right time.